Today we'll be looking at what it's like to fly Air Dolomiti from Venice on over to Vienna Airport. And if you're wondering why I'm sitting here sweating like a pig on a boat,
Do pigs even sweat?
and not in an air-conditioned airplane, well, the boat is the fastest way to get from Venice to the airport, and I started my day today in Venice. These boats get a little bit crazy over here in Venice. But regardless, we'll be over at Venice Airport pretty soon, where we'll check out the lounge first and then see what it's like aboard a flight with Air Dolomiti. And about 5 minutes later, and still nobody is able to get off of this very, very hot bus.
Let's go.
Like all of Air Dolomiti's flights, this will be a short-haul flight clocking in at just around 1 hour. We'll be flying in economy class, and like every Air Dolomiti flight, we'll be on an Embraer jet that features 2-2 seating, which for me is always a big plus.
But soon enough, we got up to full speed on the boat and zipped right through the Venetian lagoon. By the way, these kind of boats operate all throughout the Venetian lagoon, going to many different islands. In Italian, this boat is called a Vaporetto, and I was able to get my ticket for this ride for 14 euros. I think the current price is a few euros higher, but about 5 years ago I accidentally bought an extra waterboat ticket, so I'm just using it now. And soon enough, we docked at the airport.
And now I'm literally at the airport. I just took a boat from a city straight to the airport. No bus, nothing. And even though I'll be flying Air Dolomiti, which is technically not a Star Alliance member, it's owned by the Lufthansa group, and I booked my tickets via Austrian, which means I'll get all of the benefits of Star Alliance Gold on this flight, including priority security screening, which should be pretty helpful because the airport's a little bit busy today. And my flight number is even an Austrian Airlines flight number. That's because basically Austrians just wet leasing these Air Dolomiti planes. So I'm kind of interested to see what service will be like on board. And priority security screening over here at Venice Airport means the fast track line. And that took maybe 3 minutes, if even. And as is kind of usual in European airports, you have to enter the airport via the duty free. And since they're making me walk through here, I'd say the least I could do for them is to give one of the samples a try. I mean, I didn't wear any cologne today, not yet at least.
And surprise, the cologne cost way more than my flight.
But I don't really think I could imagine paying that much for cologne anywhere ever. So I'm gonna go check out the lounge now. Let's see what that's like. Last time I was over here at Marco Polo Airport, this lounge was actually closed due to reconstruction during COVID, so I'm very interested to see what it's going to be like a few years later. This lounge is really impressive, actually. Much nicer than I expected over here at Venice Airport, but they did close for a few years for renovation, so you'd expect something to be nice. It's just that the other lounges I've been to in Italy, at least for a kind of shared priority pass / status lounge like this one, haven't been this nice. But I haven't tried the food yet. Looks like they have some nice Italian coffee too, so I'm gonna get to there. There's a lot of aircraft here today too. You've got Air Canada parked over there and Delta parked over there. And this outdoor space is really a nice touch. It's also non-smoking, so I guess non-smokers would really appreciate that. But it's really hot here today in Venice, so I'm gonna go back inside where they've got some air conditioning going. And I mean, all in all, this lounge is really solid. The only one complaint I have is that the bathrooms really aren't up to snuff in their cleanliness, and they're a little bit small. But other than that, they've got really nice food and drink options, and it's just a nice place to spend some time in the airport. And they've got a little selection of magazines here as well. Well, 2 magazines, and one is for free. And if you were to not have lounge access here, there's a big food court on the same floor as the lounge. And it looks like they have some pretty good options. I'd assume the prices are a little bit high. And it seems that my aircraft got a little delayed today, somewhere in the midst of shuttling between Venice and Vienna. But it's just landed here, and it looks like we should be able to board soon. Group 2, right?
Prego.
Grazie.
Sì, ciao. Passport, please.
Grazie mille. And today my aircraft was parked over at gate 14. And they actually were already boarding. I was just taking my sweet time up there watching different planes take off and land, and yeah, I almost missed my boarding slot and would have had maybe some issues with the overhead bins, but it looks like I won't, and I'm almost to the aircraft now. So let's see what it's like to fly on Air Dolomiti. And as it turns out, the plane wasn't able to park at a jet bridge, so we've got to take this very hot bus over to the aircraft. So as can often be the case in Europe, having status or whatever and boarding a little earlier can sometimes just mean that you're going to wait in a hallway and board with everybody else, or even later if you get stuck in the wrong side of the bus. I mean, it really feels like they just started this bus up, or the air conditioning doesn't work or something. It's very hot in here. But I wouldn't expect anything else from Venice Airport based on my other experiences here. But I have to say that new lounge is really a big upgrade for this airport. And after about 10 minutes in this sweltering bus, we've made it over to our aircraft. Still haven't been able to get off the bus though, and it's like at least 40 degrees Celsius in this bus, a bit crazy. I assume the driver is having to verify that the aircraft is in fact ready for boarding, which just shows how the operations at Venice Airport work, or maybe don't work. But let's hope they'll just open these doors soon. So far it's about 2 minutes parked here, just waiting for something to happen. Again, this doesn't really reflect positively or negatively on Air Dolomiti, but know if you're going to be at Venice Airport in the summer, it can kind of suck. My God. And about 5 minutes later, and still nobody is able to get off of this very, very hot bus.
Let's go. The hats. Open the doors.
Oh, we won't get out. Just...
So if you have Star Alliance Gold and you fly through VCE, you get to sweat. And finally, after approximately 6 minutes, they've opened the door and allowed people to board. And it's like 32 degrees out here in Venice, but I'm still feeling like the air is cold here. It's crazy. That was really hot bus. Ciao. And I'll be sitting in seat 6F. Seems to be my favorite seat, doesn't it? And luckily, since this aircraft's been flying around all day with the AC on, it's not that hot in here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very good afternoon. Captain speaking. When you just walking in the cockpit, there's a senior first officer, Rodrigo Gentile. We have Air Dolomiti, Lufthansa, and Austrian.
And after that torture in the bus, they got boarding going pretty quick, and it seems like we're almost all boarded in just like 5 minutes, actually. I think everybody was just on that one bus. It seems so, at least according to the captain's announcement. And we should be off pretty soon. And for such a quick turnaround, honestly, the aircraft is pretty clean. I mean, the cleaning crew did miss a few spots on the window, but it's pretty acceptable. And I can see that they've got a pretty full menu, but everything on it is paid. So I am really interested to see what's given out for free on this flight. Because if you fly Austrian, Swiss, or Lufthansa, you get hardly anything on intra-Euro flights anymore. So could Air Dolomiti be a better choice if you got to choose between Air Dolomiti and one of those other airlines?
Dear passengers, we would like to welcome you on behalf of Austrian Airlines on the Star Alliance flight operated by Air Dolomiti to Vienna. For safety reasons, please fasten your seatbelt.
And we've just started to push back along with this Swiss aircraft right over there. So we should be on our way pretty soon. And I always love the views taking off from VCE, even if the airport itself can get a little bit hot. And we're just rolling over to our final runway for takeoff now. One interesting thing about this aircraft is they have literally just one row and one row only of business class. But intra-Euro business class, in my view, is almost never worth paying for. As we keep going down the runway, you can see where the boats come in and out of the airport. And we are first in line for takeoff, but there's just one aircraft landing over there, so we'll be waiting for that for, looks like about 2 minutes. And even before that ITA jet hit the runway, I could feel the engines roaring up. And no matter how the operations run over at Venice Airport, the views that you get from this runway they're just very unique. There's nothing like them in the world. And we're heading down the runway to take off now.
Dear passengers, for safety reasons, please use caution when opening your cabins and keep your seatbelts fastened.
And there is a Wi-Fi connection, but as far as I can tell, it's actually only used for in-flight entertainment. The in-flight entertainment doesn't seem to have like a whole lot of different options, but it's really nice that they have it on board. Plus, for a 1 hour flight, you probably wouldn't even be able to watch a whole movie. So for me, I just prefer to take in the views from the window seat. At just about the same second that we hit 10,000 feet, the flight attendant came around handing out a water bottle to each guest. And shortly after coming around with the water, they also came around with a nice little cookie. It says thank you in Italian. It's a swirly cookie. But with a third of the flight already through, that seems to be the end of service, unless you want to pay for something.
Runabout will commence our descent to Vienna. We are expecting to land there in about at 60:05 local time. So please enjoy the rest of the flight with us and take institutions to fly with Air Dolomiti and Lufthansa Group for time.
And it just seems to be that they forgot to clean the windows or didn't have time to clean the windows, because this bathroom is pretty sparkling clean. Someone had just used it before me, and it's still quite acceptable. And overall, the aircraft is quite comfortable, and I really like that there's a bathroom in the front that's not just for the one business class row. I could just come up here as well and use it. It's a little pressure on this flight that I felt going up in my ears, so I'm hoping that the pressure is not going to be too strong going down. So based on my experience today, Air Dolomiti is a pretty good no BS option for getting around on shorter flights in Europe. But if you're flying out of Venice Airport, know that you might be stuck in a 40-degree bus. And if you're interested in seeing what it's like to fly Austrian Airlines on a shorter flight around Europe, I've got another flight review for you. So whether you just enjoy binge watching my travel videos or you're planning to fly on Air Dolomiti pretty soon, thanks so much for watching this video. And if you liked it, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for many, many more travel videos. Servus, Österreich.
We would like to apologize for our late arrival. For any inconvenience this may have caused, thank you for flying with us. We wish you a pleasant stay or a safe onward journey.